Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Friday, March 27th, 2015. This is Texan TV news from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. I'm Daniel Huston, and here are today's top stories. Starting us off with campus news, here's Dalton Wolverton with an in-field report about the Tarleton Roundup.
This is Dalton Wolverton with Texan TV News, reporting live in front of one of the many sites being helped by Saturday's Tarleton Roundup. The anxiously awaited roundup was previously scheduled for Saturday, March 21st, but was postponed due to inclement weather. Tarleton Roundup is a day full of service where Tarleton students, faculty, and staff give back to the community of Stephenville, especially the elderly. They will complete projects such as tending to flower beds, washing windows, raking leaves, and other household chores. Dozens of student organizations will be sending volunteers, and many local businesses sponsor the day of service. This event is scheduled to last until about 1 in the afternoon. Back to you, Daniel.
All right, thanks for that report, Dalton. Today's local news comes to us from the Stephenville Empire-Tribune. Yesterday, students from over 400 high schools all around Texas filled Lone Star Arena for the annual Tarleton Invitational FFA Career Development Event Judging Contest. Tarleton's College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences have hosted the statewide contest for 43 years. Dr. Don Coffin, dean of the college, said the event supports the educational efforts of high school involved, as well as offering many students their first opportunity to visit a university campus and providing current students with experience in organizing and conducting large events. One student, Taylor Yates from Arlington Martin High School, said the invitational is good practice for the area horse judging that will take place at Lone Star Arena in a few weeks. In sports, the Tarleton Texans basketball team ended their journey to the national championship after falling just 4 points shy in the game last night. The Final Four final score was 72-68, with Indiana University of Pennsylvania Crimson Hawks pulling out a win over the Texans. Tarleton President Dominic DeTavio posted on his personal Twitter account shortly after the game, saying, "The Texans made us enormously proud this year. Thank you for a historic year. We are Tarleton State." This was the second time in Tarleton's history that the Texans have made it to the Final Four. Now today's state, national, and international news, which comes to us from the Associated Press. In Salado, Texas, an accident involving a tractor-trailer that slammed into a construction beam along Interstate 35 killed one person and hospitalized 3 others on Thursday. Authorities say the truck hit a beam that was being used to build a bridge across I-35 in Salado, about 40 miles north of Austin. According to Department of Transportation spokeswoman Becky Ozuna, debris from the collision toppled onto the interstate, striking other vehicles. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, the beam fell on a pickup truck traveling in the opposite direction, killing the driver, a 32-year-old man from Arlington. The oversized 18-wheeler came to a stop underneath the overpass, its cab heavily damaged. According to Lieutenant Donnie Adams with the Bell County Sheriff's Office, 2 other rigs and 2 pickup trucks were also involved in the wreck. Traffic was backed up for miles along the interstate, which is a primary north-south artery through Texas. As of today, all lanes of I-35 have reopened. Also in Texas news, a judge in Texas has temporarily blocked federal rules that would have expanded medical leave benefits to some gay couples. In a 24-page ruling filed on Thursday in Wichita Falls, U.S. District Judge Reed O'Connor granted a preliminary injunction that halts expansion of the definition of spouse under the Family and Medical Leave Act to include same-sex couples. Texas filed suit last week to block Friday's implementation of the change. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton argued that complying with the new regulations would force state agencies to violate either federal rules or a 2005 gay marriage ban in the Texas Constitution. Arkansas, Louisiana, and Nebraska joined the lawsuit. In national news, on Thursday, an apparent gas explosion went off in the heart of Manhattan's East Village. The explosion leveled one apartment building, largely destroyed another, and launched rubble and shards of glass across the streets, injuring 19 people. Witnesses said that flames shot into the air while bystanders helped one another to escape the effects of the blast. Preliminary evidence suggests that faulty plumbing and gas work inside the building were to blame. Apparently, a plumber had been doing work in connection with a gas service upgrade. According to Craig Ivey, president of Con Edison Utility, inspectors had been there to check on a planned meter installation about an hour before the fire, but the work failed the inspection partly because a space for the new meters wasn't big enough, and inspectors said gas couldn't be introduced to that part of the building. This tragedy occurred just over a year after a similar gas explosion in East Harlem killed 8 people and injured about 50 others. And now for today's international news, we turn to the Associated Press News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. Investigators looking into the final moments of Germanwings Flight 9525 report the co-pilot, quote, intentionally crashed the plane into the French Alps and locked out the captain. Officials identified the 28-year-old German co-pilot as Andreas Lubitz. All 150 on board were killed. Embattled Congressman Aaron Schock said Thursday he's leaving Congress with, quote, sadness and humility. The Illinois Republican announced his resignation following revelations of his business deals and lavish spending. The Justice Department is investigating. Schock vowed to work tirelessly to make amends to his constituents. Indiana's governor has authorized a short-term needle exchange program to help contain an outbreak of HIV. Governor Mike Pence declared a public health emergency for Scott County. 79 confirmed new infections have been reported since January. And a 2-year-old archery phenom has set a new record in India. The champ is now the youngest archer, scoring more than 200 points and firing arrows at targets over 16 feet away. Emily Roseman, The Associated Press with AP News Minute.
All right, and now today's weather, which is brought to us by weather.com. Today has been sunny. We'll see a high of 72 and a low of 46 this evening. Tomorrow will warm up with a high of 84 and a low of 55. Temperatures continue to increase Sunday with a high of 86 and a low of 58. We should be expecting clear and sunny skies all weekend. Today's broadcast was produced by Macy Raymer, Casey Bergen, and Dalton Wolverton. You can watch Texan TV News live Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. on Northland Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I'm Daniel Huston. Tune in on Monday for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.